I have zero income right now, but somehow I'm able to afford to live. No, I don't have a wife or a girlfriend that are supporting me. I'm not on government assistance. I'm not a multimillionaire, and I definitely didn't come from money. Unless coming from money means that you had a deadbeat dad that didn't pay child support. In that case, myself, my mom, and my 3 siblings were super rich growing up. Technically, I have an OnlyFeet side hustle where I show pictures of my gross, sweaty feet, but I don't live off of that money. So then how much does a random loser like me on the internet spend every month with zero income? I'll take you into my spreadsheet to break down how much I have set aside for each spending category and whether or not I've been spending way more or way less. For those of you who just came to the total number, it is $2,930 per month. And for those of you who want to see the category breakdown so that you can judge me in the comments in your own mind or in some sort of reaction video, then continue watching. I know there's going to be a few categories where I'll probably say some things that piss some of you off, so mentally prepare yourself right now, because I don't care. By the way, I am balling out right now because I was living off of way less money back when I had a full-time job, so keep that in mind. Before I break down each spending category, let me get you up to speed with how I got to the point where I have zero income. The main reason I don't have any income is because at the end of August of last year, I quit my job in corporate America to take what I'm calling a little mini retirement.
You're cool. You, I'm out.
I made a video breaking down the details, which I'll link up at the end of this video and down in the description as well if you were interested. Basically, I was ready to move on to a different company because I was getting kind of bored and wasn't really feeling challenged. So instead of immediately moving from one job to the next, I decided to take a little gap year. I know what you might be thinking because I was thinking the same thing. Is having a 1-year gap in between jobs really going to hurt my career prospects? Who knows? And to be honest, who cares? Because I'll figure it out when I cross that bridge. Heck, since McDonald's is paying $20 per hour, that's always an option. So here we are now. I've been pretty good with my money for a long time since I've been on that financial independence grind for quite a few years. When I was working, I had gotten my savings rate up to 83%, if that kind of sheds some light on how I'm able to live on $0 of income right now. Okay, enough about that BS. Let's get into the thing that you guys are all here for. The numbers. The main categories are broken down into 5 areas. Housing is going to consist of the usual suspects, mortgage and utilities. Food and medical are pretty self-explanatory. Transportation is going to cover my luxurious sports car, the Hyundai Sonata. And the last category is for everything else that didn't fit into one of those that I just mentioned. The housing category makes up 35% of the amount that I spend, which is $1,028 per month. I own a home here in Ohio where the weather kind of stinks a couple of months per year, but the cost of living is absolutely on point. It's a 3-bedroom house that I'll eventually turn into a rental property when I meet my next girlfriend and move in with her to cut out my housing expenses altogether. Yep, I'm gonna live there for free because I'm going to make her let me live there for free. Settle down, I'm just kidding, you freaking weirdos. With mortgage, insurance, and taxes, that monthly expense is a measly $593.42. For utilities, I set aside $433 per month. That includes electric, gas, internet, water, trash, and I count my cell phone in this category as well. I don't actually spend $433 per month in this area though. I overplan for this category because every now and again the city will do some sewer or water project and jack our bill up for a few months just to pay for those improvements. It only happened once or twice over the years, but it annoyed me and scarred me so much that I like to have that extra money planned for just in case. Depending on how many women I'm dating stay at my house, I'd say on average utilities range anywhere between $270 and $325 per month. And if they happen to stay too long, you're darn right I'm charging them for utilities. Do my dog Molly a huge favor and hit that thumbs up button because like I always say, more likes I get on this video means more hikes for her. And she loves hiking in the woods. Food is an interesting one. Back when I was working, I had my budget set for $320 per month, but I wanted to go absolutely hog wild during this time off work, so I decided to increase that to $400 per month. This is one of the areas I've been consistently overspending, but I'll explain why. I also set aside $90 per month for cheat meals, which I've only been using between $70 and $85 of. Okay, let's talk about why I've been overspending on my food so much. Now, I'm usually anywhere between $40 and $80 per month over budget. In the past, I've been known to buy a whole ice cream cake and eat it within a 24-hour period, but I assure you, this wasn't any of those times. I hate to use this excuse because it feels like a cop-out, but some of the increase has had to do with inflation. Now, I'm personally a meat eater, and prices for those sorts of things have been on the rise for a while. I'm a meat eater. Since I shop for meat at a local farm, I probably pay a little bit of a premium, but to be honest, I'm not going to change this spending habit just just to save a few dollars. I've been buying meat from this place for years to optimize for quality, so even thinking about having to go buy meat from a regular grocery store makes me absolutely gag. Another big contributing factor is that I've greatly increased my food intake over the past few months due to switching up my diet to one that's focused on building more muscle. Because of that, I've had to increase my protein intake, which means more money on food. Transportation makes up 8%, which is $227 per month. Now, $150 of that goes towards gas. The first couple of months I went over because I was doing a lot more traveling, but when I'm not on the road as much, I stay in line with the amount that I have budgeted. The rest goes towards my car insurance. Now, I pay it 6 months at a time to get that discount, but every month I set aside $77 so that I have that full amount ready to go when it expires. I bought my car with cash a couple of years ago because I hate car payments, so I don't have to dish out money for this sort of thing every single month. 13% of my money is set aside for medical expenses, which is $400 per month. I have yet to use the full $400 or even go over that amount in 1 month. The only consistent expenses that I have every month is $283, which is for health insurance, and my monthly subscription to the meditation app that I use every day. I did pay for a lifetime membership at the end of last year for that meditation app, so that monthly payment will completely disappear. Not gonna lie, it was pretty expensive at $399, but for me, keeping up on my mental health is just as important as my physical health, so this was kind of a no-brainer. I've gotten so much benefit from it over the past 3 years that I've consistently meditated almost every day to where I've logged over 270 hours. Because I've been so consistent, I'm not really worried about potentially falling off the wagon when it comes to meditation, so I felt pretty comfortable dishing out this large amount of money. Since I'm a pretty healthy guy, I set any extra money left over into a medical fund in case something random comes up in the future. I do buy certain health supplements, which I could technically put into this category, but I have a specific category set up for that, which I'll talk about in the next section. Now we're on to the infamous other category. It's the second highest expense that I have every month, coming in at 27% or $785 every month. Here's the area with the highest potential to offend a few of you, so prepare yourselves. Of the total $785, $5 of it goes towards my membership fund, which is $40 per month. This is the money that I have set aside for the usual membership fees that I pay every year, like Amazon Prime and Sam's Club. Not very controversial, so let's move on to one that might make your blood boil a little bit. I spend 6% of this category on a haircut every single month, which totals $45. Now, some of you might be scratching your head wondering why in the world I would pay that much money for a freaking haircut when I can go to one of those cheapo places that only charges you $15 to $18. Well, that's because there's nothing great or super about a haircut that you come out of those kinds of places with. I mean, I guess if you're looking for a solid Lloyd Christmas haircut, then go into a place where the name literally tells you how cheap they are might work out for you.
That's a lovely accent you have. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
In my opinion, those places are like the Chuck E. Cheese of haircutting establishments. Adults do not belong there. If you're a dude over 5 foot, then put the cheese pizza and skee ball down to go see a real barber. This even goes for my close buddies that I've been friends with for 25 years because all of those guys go to this type of place for their haircuts. I love them to death, but they're idiots. The haircut I get is only $30, which is pretty cheap, but my barber does a solid job every single time, so I tip him $15 because he's worth it. I'm going to combine the next two categories together. For household items and toiletries, I set aside 9% or $70 per month. These are the usual things that you would imagine: paper towels, toilet paper, toothpaste, razors, soap, and those sorts of items. I've been consistently overspending in the toiletries area every single month. This is probably the category that I could have budgeted about $25 more per month. The next category is for supplements/health, where I have 4% or $35 set aside every month. This is another category that I've been overspending in, but it's mainly because I've been buying more of something that I wasn't really expecting. If I had planned for an additional $20 per month, then everything would be in good shape. I normally have some sort of gym membership in this category, but back in 2015, I built out a garage gym with high quality Rogue fitness equipment, and I haven't gone to a commercial gym ever since. By far one of the top 3 investments that I've ever made in my life. Plus, having to work out in a commercial gym is my personal hell, so I'm happy to never have to go back to one of those crowded places ever again. Supplements are pretty much where all of this money goes every month. I'm not big on taking a whole bunch of them because I think the majority of what's being pushed to consumers is basically snake oil. Over the years, I've tried just about everything you can think of, and have ultimately cut it down to a few products that are most effective. One thing to mention real quick as an FYI is that not all supplements are created equally. There's different levels of quality between the same exact supplement, so always keep that in mind. And of course, do your own research and deep dive before randomly throwing supplements into your body. The first is fish oil, which I've been taking every day for over 10 years. Now, the brand that I use is called Dr. Tobias, which you can find on Amazon. The second thing I take is 5 grams of unflavored creatine monohydrate every day. I avoid the ones with flavoring because I don't need the additional sugar that they add. The third is vitamin D, which I've been taking for about 4 years at this point. The only reason that I take this is because during the winters here in Ohio, the sun is basically non-existent, so it helps with seasonal depression. Fourth, I'll take beta-alanine as a pre-workout. Now, I hate taking the traditional pre-workout supplements that are packed with a bunch of sugar and other garbage that you really don't need. Lastly, I'll sometimes take protein powder if I need some help hitting my protein intake for the day. Adding in the protein powder is what's been making me overspend in this category. Costs for my dog Molly account for 10% or $75 per month, which includes about $52 for food, and whatever is left over, I'll buy her a couple of toys or bones. Let me know in the comments how much you spend on your pets every single month, because I'm kind of curious. Now for the big category, which is my fudge/fun money, that's 66% or $520 per month. This money covers any overspending that I do in other categories. It's also the money that I spend on anything and everything else. Think of things like hobbies, traveling, dates with women, gifts for my nieces and nephews, as well as concert tickets. One thing I didn't want to do was limit the amount of money that I spent on fun things during my mini retirement, so I added a little more than I thought I'd need. Turns out I've been staying under budget in this area over the past 5 months without having to limit myself at all. Overall, I've been staying under budget by anywhere between 15 to 20% every single month except December. That month, I spent 99% of the money that I had set aside because I went overboard and spoiled my nieces and nephews for the holidays. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button before you go, watch these videos to your left next, and join the private financial independence group down in the description below. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Done.